Welcome to Mayor's Minute on castanet.net. I'm Dustin Godfrey and joined by Mayor Andrew Jakubeit. Welcome.
Thank you.
With the water rising on Okanagan Lake, we got hit by a big storm on Tuesday night. We got a letter from the Chamber of Commerce just before the long weekend saying, Penticton is open for business. I guess they've been getting some people calling in asking, is Penticton open? Have you noticed at all, has there been kind of a hit to tourism in the city because of all the flooding activity and all the storms?
I think the May long weekend still was really busy, and sort of the walkway along Okanagan Lake was kind of more reminiscent of peak summertime traffic in terms of people coming up and down. And I think there's a lot of curiosity because of the high water mark, so everyone's curious of how high the water is. The Essasikmou's actually floating. There's a lot of debris on the shore, so I think that's attracted a fair bit of attention. I know one of the amusement attraction places, or local landing, has sort of reported the first few days some reduced numbers, strong the second half of the long weekend, but the rest of the community, I think, is still, we are open for business, and the rest of the community still really didn't take a hit in terms of tourism traffic. From what I've been told, it's sometimes in the media, it's they hear the word flooding or they see other places flooded. Penticton really hasn't had floods. By the marina, there's been some small areas, but really we've done a good job of sort of being preemptive and putting sandbags in, and we had the province come on board to fund those tiger dams, and some provincial firefighters helping with sandbagging. So we've been able to sandbag a lot of the assets along Okanagan Lake and along the marina and by the Essasikmou's should the water levels continue to rise. And on Tuesday we had a big storm and very heavy winds, and that's really that wave pressure is really, as the following days we sort of are now sort of assessing the damage, and there's been a fair bit of erosion of sand, along some of the concrete of the walkway there. The Essasikmou's actually shifted, probably a foot or two, and the Kiwanis Pier is probably the biggest one that's got some damage. Some of the front girders have got blown out, and then right where the dock fixes itself to the land, that's upheaved by a good foot or two, and some of the dirt around that walkway there has been undermined as well. So, we're having an engineer come and assess the extent of the damage to the pier and what else needs to be done to repair and mitigate any further damage, because the water level still is high. We have towards the yacht club, the breakwater there is low in certain areas, so they're looking at ways to shore that up or fix that, build that up. And then the other point of concern is by the art gallery, Penticton Creek, and the bridge that goes to the Japanese Garden and Okanagan Lake Park. The water's right at the peak of the base of that bridge, and so if there's debris coming through there, that could cause problems. So that's going to be monitored on a regular basis now to ensure that there's no flooding that would occur from that. But so far we've been very preemptive in ensuring the rising water levels don't become a problem for the community, for residents, and for our assets. Certainly we've sustained some erosion, some issues, but we're trying to stay ahead of it.
Sure. You mentioned being preemptive. It seems like we're supposed to be expecting this coming for still another couple of weeks, another month, maybe even. Do you notice there's any kind of fatigue or any kind of fatigue, I guess, among some of the city staff who've been working on trying to mitigate these issues?
No, I think what still is unknown is what's going to come from weather-wise, and whether we're, a day like today is cooler, so that's nice. We don't, the super hot days are problematic. If it's heavy rains, that's problematic. And I think the worst is when we have heavy winds, especially blowing into Penticton, because that wave action is detrimental to the Essasikmou's, which is floating, and obviously along the whole walkway, that wave action just pounds whatever it's hitting and then sucks the sand back, and there's a fair bit of erosion that's been occurring. Staff's been very diligent, and We've had some provincial resources to come on board to help bolster that, and there's a lot of community support. The community is very thankful of all the work that the city staff is doing. We're very thankful of that, and there's just probably still a little bit of uneasiness in terms of I think they're measuring the snowpack today to sort of help evaluate, is this another 10 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks that we're going to have elevated levels of water. And we can withstand the elevated levels of water. It's just when we get this heavy wave action from heavy winds that it becomes even more problematic. So, there's a bit more of uncertainty of where that's going to lead us and if it's going to cause problems in the future.
Sure. That's Mayor Andrew Jakubeit, once again with Castanet News. I'm Dustin Godfrey. If you have any thoughts on this, you can send us a letter to letters@castanet.net, or you can send any tips to us at news@castanet.net. And you can keep on watching Castanet for your updates on the floods at castanet.net.